Hi everyone, so it's Soup Saturday and today I'm going to be making a chicken foot soup, so I figured I'd share it with you all. If you grew up in the Caribbean, you know that every Saturday would be Soup Saturday. So either you would have corn soup, chicken soup, veggie soup, any type of soups that was popular in your home. It was going to be on the lunch table every Saturday. So in today's video I'm going to share a rich, hearty chicken foot soup recipe. And chicken feet is very popular in many different cultures. It is very popular in the Caribbean, in the Spanish culture, the Asian culture, and many different others. So if you want to see how I do the recipe for this chicken foot soup, then keep watching. So here's what you'll need to make the chicken foot soup, and I only have about 3/4 of the ingredients here. The only thing that's missing is the salt, pepper, and the dumpling ingredients, but the dumpling doesn't go in until the last 10 minutes, so that's fine. So the first and the most important ingredient is the chicken feet, and I have about 2 pounds of chicken feet here. I went ahead and I washed it with some lemon juice, and I really vigorously take care of the chicken feet because feet can be quite dirty. So I soaked the chicken feet in some lemon juice for about half an hour. After that, I washed it out really well, and then I went ahead and I chopped the nails off. And you want to get just a little way under the nail, so not just right there by the nail, just at least get about half of an inch off. And what I also like to do, my mom taught me to cut this bulge off, the part that's in the middle here. It's like a little pad, like a thick pad that's right there in the middle. So the next step is to boil it. So I like to boil it for about 10 minutes, then vigorously wash it again. Make sure it's entirely clean, and then you want to blanch it in some cold water. Depending on where you buy your chicken feet, it may or may not have a very yellow membrane on the outside. So my grocery actually does it already. They pull that membrane off. But if you see that yellow membrane, when you blanch it in the cold water, it's going to be very easy to pull off. So just pull that membrane off and you'll be fine. Just go easy because usually by the toes, it's harder. And to season up the chicken feet, I have some basic green seasoning. This just has some bandania or shadow benny, some garlic and some hot pepper. I have a little bit of ketchup that's just going to add a little sweetness and it's going to balance out the spices. I have a little bit of soy sauce. It's going to give the chicken feet a nice color so we don't get a very white piece of meat in the soup. I don't like to see like white pieces of meat. I like when the meat has a little color. The next ingredients are the provisions. So you can use whatever types of provisions you want to use. Yam, Ochroes, dasheen, cassava, sweet potato. So I have some cassava, some aloo or potatoes, some green fig or green banana. I also have some okra. Don't mind it's frozen, but that's all I had on hand, so I'm going to use that frozen okra. You can get some fresh ones. Make sure you get the young okra. So the softer ones taste nice in soup. I also have some cubed pumpkin and some carrots. I boiled some channa or chickpeas and some dhal. So you just want to boil it until it's really nice and soft because it's going to go into the blender and I'm going to puree it. So that's going to add a nice thickness and a nice texture to the sauce of the soup. And I chopped some onions, some chive, or you may know it as scallion or green onion, shadow benny or bandania, also called culantro or recao, and some hot pepper. I'll also add a little bit of celery as well. And I also have some coconut milk. And for the dumplings, I will show you how to do that next. So to season the chicken feet, I'm gonna add some salt, a little black pepper, the green seasoning, and you'll want to have a little more green seasoning as well to add to the pot, the ketchup, and the soy sauce. So you want to let the feet marinate for a couple hours, or you can leave it overnight. It's up to you. I'm going to leave mine for about 2 hours and I'll come back and we'll start making the soup. To make the dumplings, you'll need a little bit of flour, some salt, and I'm making some coconut dumplings, so I'm going to use some coconut milk powder. You can use some fresh coconut milk or some canned coconut milk if you want. And I got this in the callaloo box. So I'll leave the link for them in the upper right hand corner. So all you do is combine those ingredients and then you add some water to pull the dough together. So once the dough has pulled together, it's not too hard, it's not too soft. All I'm going to do is cover it with a damp paper towel and set it aside until we're ready. So firstly, add a little oil to the pot. So once the oil is hot, go in with the onion. I'm going to add the celery, the chive and the bandana, as well as the hot pepper. So this is the process of chunking. So we added all the aromatics to the hot oil. After that's fried for about a minute, go ahead and add the seasoned chicken feet in there. So after about 10 minutes of frying, you want to go ahead and add the provisions in. And you see how the green fig or the green banana already started to turn? That's why you want to keep it in water. So all I'm going to do is add some water to the bowl that I had the seasoned chicken feet in, because I want to get out all those nice seasonings. I don't want any of those seasonings to waste. So I'm going to fill this up and add it to the pot. So after the provisions have chunked with the chicken feet, I'm going to add in that seasoned water, the coconut milk, and here I have the pureed channa or chickpeas, as well as the dhal or split peas. So this is gonna add a nice texture, color and a taste to the soup, and it's gonna thicken it up a little bit. At this point I'll also add the carrots and the pumpkin. So I'll just let this come up to a boil, and in about 30 to 45 minutes I'll check it and we could add the rest of the ingredients. So it's been half an hour, and as you can see, the sauce has thickened up quite a bit. And I changed the pot mainly because see what happened to the bananas, and I had a feeling that it was the pot, but now I'm not too sure what happened. I really don't know why the bananas oxidized in the pot. I don't know, it's kind of weird. This is the first time I had this happen to me. So I don't know if I got like a weird batch of bananas, but they seem to be more on the ripe side. Even though when I peel them, they look very green to me. I'm not sure why that happened, but that's crazy. See how it looks? It doesn't look gray like how it usually looks. Only the outside is gray. So I'll still use it anyway. But I added salt to this already, so it has enough salt. Next I'm gonna add a little more water, and this is some really hot water because you don't want to stop the cooking process. So make sure the water is very nice and hot. Next I'm gonna add the okra. So you just want to cut the head and the tails of the okra. And as I mentioned, try to get the young ones. The young ones are really nice and soft. Now I'm gonna add the dumplings. So you're just gonna pick up a little piece of dough in your hand and you're gonna roll it. So these dumplings are called spinners. This is just my lazy version of dumplings. You can roll it flat and cut it up into squares. Both my husband and I love spinners and I love the squares, but I just not in a mood to make squares today. These are all fasting. So those dumplings are just gonna take a few minutes to cook. So I'm gonna add some more green seasoning. Now you can also taste it to see if it needs anything else, like salt, pepper, whatever else it needs. So the soup looks like it's ready to come off the fire now. All my provisions are cooked. The Ochroes are cooked. The dumplings are cooked throughout as well. So the last thing you do is just taste for salt. I forgot to mention you can also add those soup seasonings if you want. I stopped using them. You can also finish this with some salted butter, golden ray. I also stopped using golden ray, so I won't be adding any. But you can add whatever you want to this dish and make it your own. So I'm real hungry, so I'm gonna go eat right now because I need to eat this steaming hot. I'm the type of person I would never wait for like a dish to cool down. I need to eat it right away. So I'm gonna save myself some soup. I'll show you all how it looks when I put it into a bowl. I forgot to mention you'll wanna add some chopped banana to finish it. I like to chop them nice and rough, so big pieces, and just mix it in. Seeing the big chunks of seasoning reminds me of how my aji or my paternal grandma used to make soup. She made one of the best chicken soups ever, and I really wish I could taste her hand again. So this is what my bowl of soup looks like. I love eating with a piece of hot pepper on the side. So even though the food already has pepper, I'm still adding pepper. So if you notice, the sauce is very rich and thick from the Channa and the split peas or the Dhal. If you wanted a thinner consistency, then you can omit the Dhal and the Channa or just use less. Or if you want, you don't even have to puree it. Just put it in whole, but make sure it's nice and soft. So I hope you all enjoyed this chicken foot soup recipe. Be sure to leave all your feedback in the comment section below. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel to see all the latest videos. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye!